you're a very, very well-known figure within Scotland, within the independence movement. We've been at the Radical Independence Day today. I wasn't able to record your session, unfortunately, but maybe you could give us a little bit of an idea of what you said today.
Sure. Well, I mean, this is a really interesting conference because actually the scale of numbers, when you call these things, you never know who's going to turn up. And we've had lots of marches this year, so was there fatigue? And, Brexit. And over 500 people, and from all over Scotland, talked to people from north, south, east, west, very interesting cross-section from all bits of the radical movement, a lot of SNP members. So a real hunger still to discuss strategy. And that's really what this conference is about. Where do we go next? We've had all the big marches. What's going to happen next? And my session was really about precisely that. What do we do next? And I think anybody who's in the movement knows deep down there's an unease. There's a frustration. No one quite knows what the Scottish government, SNP government, is up to. A lot of talk from Nicola is going to be a referendum next year. Nobody thinks there's going to be a referendum next year. Nobody thinks that a Westminster government is going to give us a Section 30. So, Nicola's kind of positioning herself. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, they kind of slapped down Chris McInerney's thing, didn't they? At the conference of the SNP the other week, attaching it to an election. I heard Tommy Sheridan also say, well, you've got, most other people put this on an election. We've got that situation where we've got, there is a definite, I feel it all the time, all the people I interview are saying, but on the other hand, there are lots of things that have to happen to make an independent country. So do you think that's what the SNP are up to?
Well, I would be happy if I thought the SNP government was preparing, right? I mean, if you think you're going to have a referendum soon, and you think therefore you're going to have independence soon, then you should be working in the background. I mean, you're going to need a central bank. You'll be setting one up now. You'll be getting the people together. None of that's happening, and that's part of the frustration. There's a lot of shadow boxing. But the movement itself has done a lot of the marching. It wants something a bit harder. I'll tell you what's really being discussed was discussed in my session. I heard it from people speaking in the main plenary sessions. You hear it in every Yes group you go to. People are talking about, well, look at what they did in Catalonia, look at what they've done in Chile. Civil disobedience might be required if we're to push forward.
That's becoming more and more. And in fact, Leslie Rizek was saying that in her speech a few months ago, wasn't she?
Like, nobody's rushing to throw bricks through windows. This is Scotland, where we take a long while to make up our minds. And people are very, people want to be serious. But at some point, if people want a referendum here, if they want to decide their own future, and somebody first of Scotland says you can't have it, then people are going to get very angry here. And we've looked at the kids. The kids have come out of school, and they've sat down the street to stop climate change. If the kids can do it, instantly from nowhere, then maybe, perhaps, if we're pushed to it, the movement here for independence in Scotland will have to do that. Don't want to do that. It's not something everyone's rushing to. But what we're saying here, we want to vote on our future. If Westminster won't let us vote on the future, then we'll do something about it.